Good evening and thanks for joining us for our look ahead to a winter tradition like no other in Maine, the tournament. In the coming hour, we will delve into each of the 5 boys and girls tournaments. We'll explore the storylines and key players we'll be watching over the next 3 weeks. Plus, later in the show, we'll reveal the 10 semifinalists for Mr. and Miss Basketball. We'll also trace the basketball history of the most famous member of the class of 2025 in Maine basketball, Cooper Flagg. Plus, our resident bracketologist Michael Hoffer of The Forecaster is here to lend his hand at the analysis of this great tournament coming up. Now, a reminder for the best in tournament coverage, join us every night of the tournament at 11 o'clock for all the recaps, storylines from the prelims to the state finals. Hoops 8 on WMTW. Stay up late for Hoops 8, 11 o'clock at night on the tournament. Well, this year has proven that heavy is the head that wears the crown. Of the 10 state champions from last winter, none will enter the tournament as a 1 seed. There are a few number 2 seeds, Windham and Monmouth, their boys teams, and the Cheverus girls, but the regular season proving it will be hard for any defending champ to repeat. Now, only 7 schools enter the tournament unbeaten, 3 in girls basketball, with Lawrence leading the way in Class A North, Penobscot Valley in C North, and Valley in D South. In boys, Mattanock in C North and Valley in D South are unbeaten. And then the big heavies in B South. 2 teams heading into the tournament perfect, York and Madomic Valley. Now, both the Madomic boys and girls have been impressive this year. Midcoast basketball has had a major resurgence in the last few years, with Oceanside winning 2 gold balls in the last 3 years for the girls, and the boys basketball team winning 2 straight regional titles. Is it Madomic's turn this year? The boys went an impressive 18-0 and took the top seed in B South. The girls were 13-5 and claimed the number 2 seed in B South. What it's added up to is that the gym in Waldoboro is the place to be on Tuesday and Friday nights.
The crowds, the excitement, it's a lot, and it's a lot of fun.
Sometimes I don't think the Midcoast gets enough hype, and even the girls, they're a good team. Katana, she's really good. I think she's one of the best players in the state, and sometimes I don't think she gets that fame enough.
How cool would it be if the boys and the girls went pretty far?
That would be very cool. It was kind of like similar in soccer. We both made it to the regionals, and we both lost, but that would be cool if we could do it in basketball too.
Now, every player has their own personal journey of reaching the tourney with stories of sacrifice and commitment, but Scarborough's senior Cam Estrella's desire to compete in his senior year is next level. You see, the Red Storm big man has played all year with a torn ACL as he strives to put the uniform on and try and make a difference. Looking at Cam Estrella working in the post, you wouldn't know he's playing on a torn ACL in his knee.
You always think about why me, but I don't know. I think everything happens for a reason. I'm just happy to be able to play my senior year, my team, my teammates.
Estrella loves basketball, but basketball has given him some tough love the past 2 years. He tore his left ACL during football his junior year, and after surgery, the only playing time he had all season was 2 minutes of game action in the playoffs. 3 weeks before tryouts in his senior year, he tore his ACL in his right knee.
I didn't play my junior year because I knew I had my senior year, so it's kind of just all the bread in one basket, hoping we're all good for that. Kind of crappy luck. I did my other knee, so my junior year I did my left knee, this year I did my right. Almost wish so I didn't just do both my junior year. Maybe they're both good by now.
Estrella was determined to be part of his team in his final season, so he told his parents and medical team his plans. He might not be the player he would be if he was 100%, but his teammates don't have to look far for motivation.
All of the guys know what he's going through and how hard it is. And I think they respect the fact that he's trying to help his team.
It's hard going out every day and knowing that your knee's messed up and having to play through it. And I think as a team, we've all seen it, and it's kind of inspired us all.
We hope, by the end of the year, it's strengthened even more, and that, because he can certainly help us. Cam can certainly help us.
We will talk more AA boys basketball later in the show. Cam, meanwhile, planning on surgery on that knee in April. Turning our attention to Class C girls, the Dexter girls snapped a run of 6 straight Southern schools, winning the C championship a year ago. The C South tournament is a jigsaw puzzle as 9 double-digit win teams enter the postseason in C South. Poland had its second straight 12-win season. Charlotte Grenier and Phoebe Parody give the Knights a good scoring duo. Winthrop won 12 of its last 13 and will try and out-athlete you, converting off of turnovers. Madison is a 13-win team that can rely on scorers like Reagan Cowan and Mackenzie Robbins. Carabec grabbed the 2 seed, winning 10 of its last 11 games. Halldale persevered through sickness and injury, barely having enough to play at one point. Jade Graham, Marie Benoit, and Tori Tibbetts have been there before and want to get back. All right, our bracketologist who has persevered through the regular season is with us now. Michael Hoffer, thanks for being with us once again. Talking C-South and that group of seniors at Halldale, including Lucy Gray, 72-10 in their careers and probably start as the front runner in this pack.
Absolutely, Travis. As always, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the show, and I guess I'll be the Joe Lunardi here in this in this scenario. But yeah, Class C South. I mean, I think you're really looking at 3 teams: Halldale, the defending regional champs. It feels like they're always there. Madison certainly has had a terrific year, and then Winthrop. I think they'll very much be in the mix too. They feature Madeline Wagner. Anyone that knows anything about field hockey in recent years knows that she's a big game performer. Scored some big goals, state championship winning goals, and if they make a run, I expect that she will probably be a big part of that. But those 3 teams kind of lead the pack, and they've all beaten each other over the course of the regular season, so there really is no clear favorite.
Yep, so you get on the big floor and you see what happens, and should be an interesting C-South tournament as Halldale entering on a pretty good run, but certainly all those teams a chance to get in the mix here as we head to tournament. Now the C-South girls, keep in mind, they have the longest layoff. They don't start their playoffs until Tuesday of tournament week. Now in Southern D girls, unbeaten Valley will be the favorite. After losing in the state final last season to Southern Aroostook, the Cavaliers are averaging 73 points a game and have won only 1 game by fewer than 20 points. Now on the boys' side in D-South, Valley and St. Dom's are the big favorites. St. Dom's lost only 1 game, and that was to Class C Dirigo. They're led by Taylor Varney, who's been terrific, and Jonathan Tangalamisu. Valley, meanwhile, led by 1,000-point scorers Harry Lewis and Fisher Tewksbury. They can do it all. The Cavs beat the Saints in the regional final last year, and the Saints are aiming to get back there to try and get some revenge. Now, later in the show, we'll reveal the best seniors of the class of 2025. The Mr. and Miss Basketball semifinalists. Had Cooper Flagg stayed in Maine, he surely would have been on that list. His teammates, who still play in Maine, knew early on that his career was the start of something very special.
He was always like that. He was playing up in like 2nd, 3rd grade, playing with the older kids. Just when we'd play other teams and how dominant he would be, it would show. It's always shown since the beginning.
I always knew practicing with him, he's different. He has a special talent.
The lasting impact of Cooper Flagg on some of the players in the class of 2025, we'll find out about it later in the show. Now we'll look ahead to C boys and B girls in our next segment, but first our boys' plays of the year. Ryan Cummins of York, the steal and over-the-head no-look pass from the ground to Reese McDonald for 2. How about Ding Maywin? Complete player, complete play. Blocks the shot and then finishes at the other end with a dunk. Deering's Tavian Latour, the sweet spin move, and then the dime for the lay-in to his teammate. Westbrook's Patty Walsh from just inside a half court to beat the buzzer against Biddeford. And how about Yarmouth's Jaden Pelletier, the no-look reverse? Unbelievable. We'll have more tournament preview show after this.